So let's say you found a skeleton. How would you tell if it represents you personally? How would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that.
Hey everybody, welcome to Dapper Reacts number 129. This one is DNA, or sorry, is clay made of DNA or something like that? Which, of course, the answer is no. Here is Kip, the guy who doesn't know what seconds are, or how many of them 20 is.
I just don't care, man.
That's why I leave you muted.
It's good. Smart.
I have learned that there are certain co-hosts that do not have a sense of time, and that I just need to leave them muted. And, you know, that's okay. It happens.
You do what you gotta do.
Yes.
It's your show.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, if I guess I have some choice on whether or not to come back here every week, so, you know.
I mean, first of all, you definitely have a choice as to whether or not to come back. If you were just like, nah, I'm not going to be there, what am I going to do about it? I'm not going to fly out to BC and drag you to your computer. Like,
although that would be funny.
It would be, but I also don't want to have to deal with crossing international borders in regards to, you know, the former USA. Not a fun time.
You might accidentally discover that, damn it, you can't go home. Yeah. Oh no. What are you going to do?
Actually, recently, there was
cold up here.
Well, yeah, that would be a disaster. I'd have to move to like the southern tip of Ontario to get as far south as possible.
Cold there too.
I know, but it's warmer than it is where you are.
Do you think so? I'm not sure about that.
I'm pretty sure it gets more snow, but I think temperature-wise, it's warm. Like, I know that the warmest town or the warmest city or whatever in Canada, I believe, is in Ontario, and I think it's Windsor.
And see, I did not know this.
Yeah. I've looked into it. Well, okay, to be fair, Chesh has looked into it in response to my complaint that it was too cold, and I've taken on board her research. Okay. So I want to be clear that it wasn't just me looking this up out of the blue. It was Chesh who has various times said that I might want to look into applying for refugee status.
Sure. Yes. Well, I mean, I still think that's something that's a window you should keep open.
But it is. I'm taking on board that it may need to be a thing that I do. But yeah. Hey, we don't have a whole lot of time to go over lots of stuff because we are currently sitting at 20 gifted memberships right now.
Oh, I'll take a drink.
Well, we need to take 20 drinks. So, here's one.
I'm just taking one.
2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I take the next 15 drinks, Kip. Could you explain to people the difference between the genitive case and the construct state?
Well, I mean, the construct state is a form of Hebrew, also appears in some other Semitic languages, I'm fairly sure.
It does.
Which is used
Celtic
to indicate.
Languages.
Is that right? I was unaware of that. It's used to indicate genitive constructions, as a rule, which are maybe better understood as possessives, when something belongs to someone or something else. It's considered to be in the genitive. But that's, you know, it's usually we mark nouns in Greek as either dative, genitive, accusative, or nominative. And the genitives in Greek usually correspond to the construct nouns in Hebrew. When you're making a construct in Hebrew, basically what you're doing is you're stringing two nouns together. You could do it with adjectives too. But you're stringing two nouns together, just basically setting them next to one another. And the first one is always in the construct state.
And Meat Permits Tad
And
is
we
just gifted a
recognize
membership.
it, but I'm not done talking yet,
I have to
dude.
announce
But
it.
you'll get it. You'll get your chance.
Okay.
We recognize it though because the vowels shorten and the accent will shift all the way to the end of what's called the construct chain now, which includes the construct noun as well as the absolute noun. So there you go.
All right. So let's read out some stuff. We already took drinks for most of this. So let's see. We've got Dutch, Place of Hostility, Syndicate, gifted 5 memberships. Carnival Frog, gifted 5 memberships. Metageeky, Platypus Librarian, gifted 5 memberships. Lieutenant Math Navigator, gifted 5 memberships. And as mentioned, Meat Permits Tad did one. Now that is because we are trying to get a Mudkip Davis emoji. But it turns out that at the start of the stream, we needed 200 members. So we're 10% of the way there, guys.
That's a lot, man.
It is a lot.
That is a lot.
Unfortunately, the algorithm that YouTube uses to decide who gets membership seems to have shifted, and it has disincentivized people to gift memberships because they're now less likely to go to people they recognize from chat. Which I don't blame you for not then gifting more, and it just sucks because I wish, one, that people who were active in chat would be the ones who very reliably got the memberships because they're the people who are most likely to want to be in the Discord or have early access and whatnot. And also, quite frankly, it means I make less money on memberships. So I'm not going to pretend that isn't a factor, right? Like,
yeah,
I spend more than 40 hours a week working on this channel. I need that to work out in terms of being able to survive. So yeah, it sucks all around. It sucks for the people who would like to give memberships, it sucks for the people who want memberships but can't afford them, and it sucks for me. So, thanks YouTube. That's great. But anyway, we have a few super chats here. Meat Permits Tad for $5 says, DNA is made of sadness. AIG is a cask of J. Warner Wallace's. Take a drink. It said cassock. I mean, it actually says casebook. I don't know why I said cassock. You know what? I know why I said cassock. It's because I'm thinking about doing a Christianity for Dummies stream, and I might contact a priest. And so that's been on my brain as to how to find one that I might want to contact. Because I've got right now.
I know any.
Well, right now what I'm looking for is a non-Catholic Eastern Christian priest. So like Coptic Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, Oriental Orthodox, Armenian Apostolic Church, Church of the East.
I don't know any of those.
Yeah. Well, just start visiting all the local Orthodox churches that I'm sure are all over Canada.
It seems to me, and maybe this is just the demographic imbalance between membership in the Eastern churches as compared to the Catholic Church, but it seems to me that the membership rosters at SBL are underrepresented by Eastern clergy. Wonder why that is.
You'll have to ask them and say, hey, are we doing enough to invite Eastern Christian members, including Eastern Catholics? You know? Some Melkite Catholics, some Maronites, some Greek Catholics.
This is just my impression. It's not it's not something I've spent much time actually investigating. Just vibes.
Just vibes,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Stardust Lilith for $5 says, Unleash Kip and treats for Dagon. And then Lieutenant Math Navigator for $2 says, Romanus eunt domus, which does not mean Romans go home. It means people call Romanus, they go the home, I believe, is the more literal translation. Yeah. Which is still one of my favorite Monty Python sketches. It's from The Life of Brian, in case anyone is interested. Mm-hmm. And it is basically a send-up of a certain type of language teacher that was very common in Britain at the time, where they just berated you about not having memorized long lists of tables until you just kind of did out of fear. And it turns out that's a spectacularly bad way to get people to actually retain linguistic information.
Oh, is that where that came from? I was unaware the origins of that.
Yeah, they were remembering their days in a boarding school and Latin class, having their Latin instructor berate them and browbeat them until they managed to just go through like every single conjugation table they knew until they happened to stumble upon the correct answer.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Luckily,
been
the philosophy of language acquisition has come a long way, and most people no longer
Yeah.
learn languages that way or are taught languages
Very
that
true.
way.
It's been immortalized in a number of and I guess tribute memorialized is maybe the better term. And a number of other great movies. Which I project. My favorite might be Canadian Bacon. Where the Americans are crossing the border to invade. I believe it's a garbage truck that they've driven across the border in order to invade Canada.
Well, you suspiciously keep stationing 90% of your population within 10 miles of the border, like you're massing for an invasion of the United States.
I guess that's one way to look at it. It's if
Could also
you've
just be
been
that those
here,
10 miles are the only even barely habitable areas of the country.
see, I was just about to say, if you've been here, you'd also be aware that as soon as you get into some of those more northern climes, it just it's just a hard place to live.
Yeah.
It really is. So, but yes, they've got they've got the garbage truck all covered in anti-Canadian graffiti and get pulled over by the RCMP, and then they have to write all the accurate French translations for
Yep. It's a great scene
for the graffitos. It's so awesome. Yes.
It's
I believe that's Dan Aykroyd too playing
I haven't seen Canadian Bacon in
the trooper.
It's got to be more than 20 years. I should watch that.
Yes,
all right,
you should.
I've got a few more things to read, and then we're going to jump into this with my quick recap of what happened last time and where we are, and then we'll actually hit play on Billy. All right, so April Van Ryn, I can't remember now. I'm sorry, April. Who's been a member for 22 months, says AIG equals Billy Carson equals bag of dicks with IQ an eighth of a bag of dicks. Love you guys. Break out the Mudkip Davis. Thank you very much. We'll take a drink for that. Osiris Baroque AIG. I've mentioned to Osiris Baroque AIG once that in the book I was reading, nearly every noun in the entire book had the adjective Baroque attached to it at some point during the book. And so now that's part of their username.
That's just weird.
Yeah, it was otherwise it was actually a really fun book, but like that one thing stuck out to me and it really bugged me. It was like, if everything is Baroque, then you just don't need to mention it. Just stop. Just please. Also, I know what some of the things they were describing were, and like I don't see how they would be Baroque, but like whatever. Osiris Baroque AIG for 200 Argentinian pesos says, old teachers, people called Romanos they go the house. New teachers, Italia en Europa est, Greca en Europa non est. Thank you. Juliana Delicato, a prominent Jewish historian, of course, who's been a member for 21 months, says, AMOC's not a fan of Canada. Why would you not be a fan of Canada? What did Canada ever do?
What is AMOC?
I'm actually not positive on that one. But I also don't know why anyone wouldn't be a fan of Canada unless they dislike the invention of new war crimes. Who doesn't like the invention of new war crimes? I mean, where do you think the U.S. military's war crimes? Like, where do you think the U.S. gets their ideas? It's from the Canadians. Canadians come out like, hey, look at this. We
invented
a new war crime
that contains all the brains. Yeah. So
if it weren't for Canada, see, Canada never commits any war crimes because they only become war crimes after Canada invents them, and then people are like, oh, we shouldn't do that. Yeah. In fact, little known fact, Canada actually invented the atomic bomb and then sent the plans to the USA so they could drop it on 2 cities. That's not true, by the way. That's a lie.
That was still all part of the very complex inner workings of the Manhattan Project.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was very secret, so people didn't really know about the Canadian involvement.
Nobody knew. No.
Yeah. O&B
still to this day.
Well, now I spilled the beans, so I'm sure the assassin squads are going to be coming after me. going to be a bunch of RCMP guys, but their uniforms are going to be black, and they're going to have sniper rifles, but still riding around on horses, which they don't really do much, which is lame. You're going to call yourself the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Ride a damn horse, guys, or a moose. I'll accept a moose.
Listen, I'm fairly sure that I had an RCMP officer renting my basement once, and I'm fairly sure that when you go to, this is weird, the only place in Canada where they train RCMP officers, which is Regina, Saskatchewan.
Hey,
I think they
I'm
do
familiar
that.
with Regina, kind of.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate or a hilarious name for a city, depending on your.
You could just go with
take on this.
Regina, which would be closer to like an ecclesiastical Latin pronunciation for the word queen, which is what
I guess you could,
from.
but nobody does.
I know.
So here we are. But I'm fairly sure the only reason the RCMP training academy in Regina, Saskatchewan still exists is because without it, nobody would ever go to Regina.
Yeah, they just go to Saskatoon
and that
instead.
would be and that would be bad because Regina is also still the house, the seat of the provincial government there in Saskatchewan. So without really, in a roundabout way, without the police training academy there, the government would probably just cease to exist. But anyways, I have it on his authority that they still have to get on horses.
Oh, they do. They're just not on them most of the time, which bugs me.
That's fair, right? But you can go places and see them on horses sometimes, though.
Yeah, but that's usually ceremonial.
Yeah, usually that's true.
See, I grew up in a city where mounted police were actually not an everyday sight, but like a weekly sight. We actually had frequent use of horses for police officers on the streets.
Right. I also grew up in a city like that here in Canada, and those weren't RCMP.
Well, obviously neither were ours.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a few more things here. O&B Magnochondria are the powerhouse of the soul. For $2 says, send chats equals avoid Billy. Correct. If you just super chat enough, we won't ever get to Billy. Meat Permits Time for $5 says, yes, it is Dan Aykroyd and Canadian Bacon. The better cameo is Stephen Wright as the world's calmest Mountie.
That's very true.
Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, and the Canadians get their ideas from their geese. It's true. The evil geese whisper their secrets into the Canadians' ears.
Yes.
Yep.
There is no such thing as a goose whisperer because they just bite your ear off. So.
Mm-hmm. Juliana Delicato, a prominent Jewish historian, says Atlantic meridional overturning circulation. That sounds like a weather thing. And that was for €249. That sounds like something that Maddie should be here for. Because Maddie has a PhD in meteorology, and so she runs the weather.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
No,
well,
thank you.
She gets her turn on the She gets her turn on the weather machine. Is more accurate. Yeah.
Do you know if she's doing it today?
I don't keep track. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator, who's been a member for 6 months, says, my state has towns of the blue ball and intercourse. has the towns of blue ball and intercourse within 20 minutes of each other. Well, I mean, they should meet up because they might be able to fix that problem.
Right. I don't know. Only one of them has a problem, don't they?
I mean, to be fair, that
still
is true.
Able to fix the problem, but yes.
Yeah. All right.
I guess intercourse could be a problem.
Well, it can be. It definitely has consequences that can be problems, and also, sometimes it doesn't go as well as you'd like.
That's true.
Kent Jeffrey of Arimathea Halstead for $4.99 says, Dan Aykroyd probably agrees with Billy on a ton of stuff. Dude is crazy. Yeah,
is that right? I was unaware.
He's nuts. He's all sorts of into like weird ghost stuff and like, yeah, he's like I think he's even into ancient alien nonsense. Like Dan Aykroyd. Here's the thing, right? Dan Aykroyd is absolutely crazy, but his crazy has manifested into the world as like he sells expensive vodka with the shape of a crystal skull. I'm like, okay, who cares? Feel free
Right.
to buy Dan
There you go.
Aykroyd's over expensive alcohol. I don't care.
If that's your outlet, then
Yeah.
have at it.
Billy Carson's nonsense has manifested into the
Yeah.
world as like trying to drive down the already abysmally low rate of vaccine uptake among African Americans, which is way worse than overpriced vodka.
A million times worse.
Like,
Yes.
I don't care how much overpriced
Objectively
vodka
worse.
exists. It's fine. I don't care. Every single person who doesn't get vaccinated as a result of Billy Carson is someone who could themselves die or could cause other people who can't be vaccinated to die. And I care about that. So, like, when it comes to Dan Aykroyd's crazy, I'm just like, you know what, Dan? Have fun with it, guy.
Sure.
Man. Like, it's fine. I don't
Go.
care. Yeah. Make as many versions of vodka as you want.
That's right.
It is a pretty cool bottle, though. I have actually seen them in person, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's a neat bottle. I dig it. I have been tempted to buy a bottle of it just to have the skull-shaped bottle.
How much are we talking?
I don't remember. It's been too long.
Why?
I don't even know if it's still made. Dutch the Place Sylvia's Tunicate for $2 says the geese contain the intrusive thoughts with the gut. So that's true. Geese are actually just manifested intrusive thoughts. They're just made of intrusive thoughts.
Yes, they are. That's it.
All right. So the reason they actually have wings is because they're that intrusive thought that says jump over the ledge. That way, when they do that, it's okay. They survive.
Every time someone has intrusive thoughts, a goose gets its wings.
That's how it works. All right. So last time we were here, Billy was talking to us about how the creation of humans goes in the Epic of the Atrahasis. And basically, what happens is a certain class of the gods that he has identified reasonably as the Anunnaki are complaining that they are doing too much work when it comes to doing things like digging irrigation channels and setting up cities and whatnot. Now, Billy interprets this as digging for gold for literally no reason. No, not for no reason. It's because Zechariah Sitchin said it first.
Yes.
But because he doesn't want to be associated with Zechariah Sitchin, he is being very sure to tell us that he's not reading from Sitchin. But what he's instead doing is reading from a reasonably accurate, as far as we can tell, translation by some other scholar, and then just giving you the Sitchin interpretation on top of that anyway. He also says that the creation of these humans, which was done by killing one of the Anunnaki to mix their blood with the clay to give the divine spark to humanity, was actually, all that means that they were in South Africa, and we think they were in South Africa because I believe it was Enki went down, and Billy interpreted that as south, because apparently Billy's a flat earther, as far as I can tell. I don't actually think he's literally a flat earther, but that's an actual flat earth argument, not knowing the difference between up and north and down and south, which is compounded because at the time this was written, down on a map wasn't south, it was west. So that's even crazier. This guy should have gone to, like, I don't know, California or something to go down, if down we're talking about a map direction. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so he thinks that this clay is some kind of thing that contains DNA, and that by mixing it with the blood of this god, which apparently you needed to kill the entire god to fill up, and by god
Just
he
to
means
get
alien.
Some DNA.
Yeah, because apparently they didn't have, like, DNA replication machines. Even though we do now, these advanced aliens who came from across the stars to grab our gold for some reason, they didn't have that technology. Sure.
But he's promoting the idea that they're using the DNA, but is somehow under the impression that in order to get some, you just have to, I don't know, what you just grind up.
Oh, I just made a decimal point error. Sorry about that. Dapper's a professional.
What did you do?
I put in 410 instead of 41.
Oh, whoops. Yeah.
So I'll take a drink for Dapper's professional.
Okay. Anyways, what I was saying was not important.
But then, so now we're at the point where they've mixed this blood with the clay to form some humans. And for Billy, that's apparently mixing some kind of DNA mixture into existing hominids, like Homo erectus or something, to create Homo sapiens. And remember, this is all about him trying to reject evolution, which is weird, because even if Billy's interpretation of all this is true, it wouldn't actually do anything to contradict evolution. It would just mean that humans didn't come about entirely through natural evolutionary processes.
Right.
Which basically it's like pointing to like a GM tomato that has like a antifreeze protein from like a codfish or something, and saying therefore evolution is fake because humans put an antifreeze protein in this tomato. Like, nope, that's not how that works at all. Mm-mm. Or it's sort of like saying, oh, see that little pile of sand? Someone poured that out of a bucket. Therefore, sand dunes are all actually piles of sand poured out by giants, and the wind has nothing to do with it. No, that's not how anything works, Billy. I've got a couple super chats. Jennifer Silvis for $2 says, geese have wings to beat you? Yeah, and wing claws. Did you know they have wing claws?
I think, yes.
Yeah, they have little claws on their thumbs, on their wings.
Yeah,
if they swipe you with a wing, they can cut into you.
They can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Math Navigator for $5 says, Divine Spark sounds like the name of a marital aid for masochists. Well, Lieutenant Math Navigator, now when you make your own brand of TENS units, you know what to call it. So there you go.
I have been hit by a goose wing.
I thought you were going to say by a TENS unit, and this was going to be going in a whole different direction that I wasn't expecting for today.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, not there.
That's a different kind of stream.
It's surprising when it happens. It's, they're unexpectedly yeah, they pack a wallop.
Yeah.
Behind those wings. So
Jillian says, were you just channeling Roger for a minute? We're not going to talk about that. Look, I can't stay mad at Roger. He's too enthusiastic and too happy and too, like, I don't know, just bubbly. It's really hard for me to stay angry at Roger, no matter how dumb he gets. Plus, of course, as far as I can tell, he's not, like, ruining anyone's lives, so, like, whatever. It's the Mud Fossil, yeah.
Mud Fossil? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy whose only method of showing you his screen is to literally film it through a camera while he points at it with a feather, because he can't figure out how screen capture software works. Or I don't know if he can't, he just has never bothered. Osiris Baroque AIG for 200 Argentinian pesos says, counter-argument, if geese are so bad, why did the Proto-Germanic and Proto-Slavic peoples not make up a euphemism for them? Checkmate atheists. It's true, they did make up a euphemism for bears, but not for geese. So, I mean, yeah. All right, here we go. Here's Billy.
Okay.
So this person looked just like Justui.
This person being the first human that's made, and Justui being his reading for the name of the god that was killed to create the blood, in case that wasn't
Thank you.
clear.
I needed
so
that.
she called up the Anunnaki, the great gods, the Ijiji, the great gods, spat spittle upon the clay. Mommy made her voice heard and spoke to the great gods.
Okay, so once again, we have spit in here, which doesn't correspond to anything involving, like, genetic engineering. If you want to genetically engineer an ape, you don't spit on, like, whatever it is that you're genetically engineering. That's not how it works.
They're not spitting into the
Well, no, because they already got the
tubes.
They already got all the blood from an entire guy. They drained all of it and mashed up all of his flesh into a paste to mix it in with the clay. Because that's apparently how super advanced aliens do genetic engineering, is by literally killing the donor organism and grinding up the entire guy to shove it into clay.
And then somebody just spit into the pool of sludge.
Mm-hmm.
That we're just calling that DNA now, though, right?
Yeah, it's mixed blood and clay, which Billy thinks means it's all just DNA, and now someone's spitting in it.
Okay.
Which will add that person's DNA, but it will also add the DNA of, like, any bacteria or whatever else might be living in their mouth.
But maybe because they're gods, that's like the secret ingredient.
Yeah, but according to Billy, though, they're just aliens.
Oh, right. Well, maybe they require, like, maybe it's a secret ingredient, a secret alien ingredient that makes the people do the people things. I don't fucking know.
Oh, you got the one. There was our one. Now, if we want to get Kip anymore,
I can't be held responsible. I'm still recovering, and the head is still not 100% here. So
I'm just saying, we have 20 more super chats to get you unleashed fully.
I'm just saying that I should not be held responsible for anything I say.
I disagree. Fits of Rage, who's been a member for 21 months, says, over under on how many minutes of Billy we actually watched today is 3.5, taking all bets. With an AIG as a bag
I
of dicks,
hope-
and a Godzilla, a
I hope
Mothra, and a
it's more
Ghidorah.
than that.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind saving some for when Vishanti gets back.
That's fair. That's true. She's working Comic-Con today, right?
She is working Comic-Con, and also her fundraiser is linked in the description if you want to donate to that. We are at 88% of the goal. So, and almost all of that has come directly from my viewers, and I want to say thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. My Unfinished Journey for $2.22 says, Hail Dap and gang, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. Lieutenant Math and Navigator.
Wait, we've got sounds that we can use, right? We've got one of those. We should use it. Let's use it, dude.
Do it. There you go.
There we go.
If I do it, it shows up on screen because I'm screen capturing Discord. So you're in charge of the soundboard.
Excellent.
Yeah. Please don't abuse it, or I'll have to deactivate it. You're cutting it close.
I'm done.
Okay.
I promise.
Lieutenant Math the Navigator for $5 says, we can never allow Falkland streamer ducks to breed with Canada geese, or we'll be overrun by Canadized killer geese. Okay, we'll try not to let that happen. All right. Come on, Billy.
I have carried out perfectly the work that you ordered of me. You've sacrificed to God together with his intelligence. I have relieved you of your hard work. I have imposed your...
Do you think he's going to have any idea as to how to incorporate the idea of sacrificing a god's intelligence into the genetic engineering? Like, what does that mean?
Beyond spit, I have no idea.
Yeah. Jennifer Silvas for $2 says, can you hit me with the link for Billy Carson?
The link
for like his website. I don't know his website. I just found his YouTube channel by just typing in Billy Carson and filtering to channels. I don't currently have the link handy. But if any one of my mods wants to just search out his YouTube channel and put it in the chat, that's fine. All right, here we go.
Your load upon man, but only as a co-worker, not a slave. You see, the intention here was not to create a slave. You would have bestowed noise and woe upon mankind, but I have undone the fetter and granted freedom. This was the decree.
Yeah, just like William Wallace would have wanted.
Yes.
From Ninurta. They listened to his speech, to this speech of hers, and they were freed from anxiety. They fell down and kissed her feet. We used to call you mommy, but now your name shall be mistress of all gods.
Also, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I really hate that he's pronouncing mommy as mommy. I really hate it. And I know that many dialects of English merge those two sounds.
Sure.
I get it. Mine doesn't. And I hate that he's doing that. Which might not be fair of me, but like, whatever.
Far-sighted Enki, a wise mommy, went into the room of fate. The womb goddess were assembled.
Jennifer Silva says, the Billy Carson to which you are reacting. You mean like this video? That one I can probably find. Let me see if I can't grab that for you.
Reptiles.
Why? Why would Ken show up when I just hit YouTube? What about Kent Hovind talking was something that YouTube was like, no, that's what we're going to send when you just click on YouTube. Jeez.
This has something to do with your viewing habits.
Look, you're not wrong. I know you're right. Of course, I click Billy Carson Evolution, and I search for that, and then the first one that shows up is this one, but then 1, 2, 3, 4,
like our
5
stream?
videos under that is the stream. Yep,
that's great. But I mean, honestly, that's for the best. It really is.
Oh yeah, look, I was very, very, very pleased when it turned out for a little while that when you searched Andrew Snelling, the first 2 videos that showed up on YouTube on a blank account were my videos calling him out for being a lying asshole.
You're doing it right.
Yep. So there's the link to his video if you want to watch the whole thing. It's painful, but should be the right one.
Enki trod the clay in her presence. Mommy kept reciting the incantation for.
Okay, Billy, what do you think trod means? Because to me, what it means is like you're stepping on the clay to mix it up, like you're doing like wine making, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So
Makes sense.
what does that correspond to in the process of genetically engineering an ape into a human being?
Maybe he just thinks these are all things that take place inside of a laboratory. You know,
I mean, maybe,
Yeah.
but like it just seems so obvious to me that the way that this is meant to be taken by the authors writing to their audiences is that the gods are stepping in the clay to mix it so that the spit and the blood
Right.
in the clay gets mixed up to create the human out of these divine elements and the earthly elements that are being combined to make a
see-
creature that's between the divine and the earthly.
Dapper, that sounds ridiculous.
Does
And
it?
because we know,
Oh.
if we reach into the inner workings of Billy's brain, we know that everything that was ever written down in antiquity is stuff that actually happened, that people actually saw happening, because nobody could imagine
You're right.
things.
I did forget that no one
Right?
can imagine things.
So, if you approach it like that, then the way you're describing it sounds ridiculous. So it can't be that, right? It just can't be that.
does it sound
Gotta be
much more ridiculous than aliens that came to Earth for gold, even though there's gold all over the solar
Sure. I
system?
mean, yeah, fair. I'm just doing my best to channel Billy here.
Like, there are asteroids out there that, on their own, contain more gold than the entire crust of the Earth. You could just scoop them up, and then you wouldn't have to worry about digging canals or building cities or dealing with the gravity well of Earth. You could just grab them. It's one of the reasons why you never tell people in your alien invasion story just why the aliens are invading, unless you can come up with a really good reason why they need to. Because almost any explanation you could come up with could be better solved by just not invading Earth and not
Yeah.
bothering with the humans.
Yeah.
There's very little that Earth has that you can't get more easily elsewhere in the solar system. That's why it only ever makes sense when it's like, well, it's like biomass, or like they're looking for like genetic material for bioengineering, or like they just really enjoy killing. That
See,
could be
this-
an option.
This reminds me of the major plot point for the last season of For All Mankind, which was built around them capturing an asteroid in and maintaining control of it inside of the orbit of Mars. And they were unsuccessful.
Aww.
with it.
Kent Jeffrey of Arimathea Halstead says, they may take our gold, but they'll never take our freedom! Yeah, you know what? I want to
That
see
was-
Billy in half blue face paint.
Yeah. I can see it.
And also speaking kind of bad French. Which also wasn't period French, it was modern French, which was also weird.
Sure.
Anyway,
Enki, staying in her presence, made her recite it. When she had finished her incantation, she pinched off 14 pieces of clay and set 7 pieces on the right, 7 pieces on the left. Between them, she put down a mud brick. She made use of a reed, split it open so that it was sharp to cut the umbilical cords. She called up the wild.
okay.
What
Once
does he think
again,
is going on?
yeah, that's the question I always have is how does so you're taking bits of clay and you're pinching them off. So you've got some large lump or maybe like a roll of clay, right? And you're
Yep.
taking 14 equally sized parts off of that and you're setting them
Yep.
aside. How does that in any way say to anyone genetic engineering?
Yeah,
Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for
it's,
$5 says, but the gods invented interstellar travel without figuring out the pressure suit. Oh, okay, there you go. That makes sense. It is hard for me to watch someone read this and then just blindly go in with like, yeah, that
just
makes
ignore everything that he's just read.
Yep.
But I mean, seriously, welcome to my world which is populated by Christian apologists who like to sit down and read the Bible and then ignore everything that it says. So,
Not everything, just the parts that are inconvenient for them.
yes, which is a lot of it.
Well, yeah. Turns out.
I mean, there's parts of this that he's not ignoring, like, okay, this is actually more difficult now as I look at it.
Exactly.
Okay, fair.
He's not ignoring
Yeah.
the names of the
Wow.
gods because he's going to incorporate them
yes.
into his own mythology.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Jennifer Silvas for $5 says, I'm doing my own react using ancient astronaut theory and also point out where he F's up the actual myth. Watch his development. He's all memes. Yeah, that's one of the problems with Billy Carson is I don't know of anything that's original to him. Now, to be fair, I have not sat down and consumed large amounts of Billy Carson. But it seems like everything he has is derivative of ancient astronauts, of Zechariah Sitchin, of stuff like that, right? Like, it seems like it's all derivative.
He's a popularizer.
Yeah. And specifically, he's there to popularize the pseudo-history nonsense and pseudo-archaeology nonsense for Black Americans, right? Which is a group that it's most of those woo peddlers who are into that don't have a lot of ins with. In part because, well, for most of them, they're all just a stone toss away from just blatant, open white supremacy. So, like, I can see why they don't have a whole lot of luck with, black people in America. Although, oddly enough, sometimes you do find people who are black and in America and get into white supremacy. It's weird, but, like, you get black people in MAGA hats, so I don't know. But anyway,
Maya, from her extensive experience with Billy Carson, is affirming what you say.
Yeah, he's just taking other people's BS and presenting it to a different audience. Yeah. Yep. And no audience needs this, so please stop.
Stop.
We don't need this spreading to other demographics that would otherwise be largely insulated from this kind of nonsense.
It would be better.
Yeah.
If you stopped.
Like,
it would be.
I gotta be honest, if only white people fell for nonsense pseudo-history, the world would be a better place. It would be a much better place on top of that if even the white people didn't fall for it. But you know what? I'll take as few people as possible. I'll draw along whatever lines we can manage. Yeah, let's see. We got Kent Jeffrey of Arimathea Halstead for $1.99 says, Kip needs a shirt that says, read the blank text. Yeah, you maybe you do need that.
Maybe I do. I have another shirt that says I won't say it because
is it I effing love the Bible?
That's the one. Yes, I
have. You can say effing. That's fine. Plus, you're only
but then it makes me feel like I'm 11 years old. So
you're only like, I think, what is it, 17? Yeah, super chats away from being unleashed.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow.
So we could do it. Although I also have to say that I see 100 people watching and only 45 people have liked the stream, which means that unfortunately I like less than half of you, half as well as you deserved.
I didn't like the stream.
How? You're on the stream.
I was late, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still recovering from this bout of COVID that I've contracted. I will repeat myself. I should not be held responsible for things that I say or do on this stream. Just nothing. Nope.
It just sounds like you're planning to misbehave and you're just trying to get like an excuse. Also, Jennifer Silva says, I'm showing 46, but that's still not half, so okay. That's, all right, here we go.
Wise, knowledgeable womb goddess, 7 and 7. 7 created males, 7 created females. For the womb goddess is the creator of fate. Enki paired them 2 by 2. He paired them 2 by 2 in her presence.
You think he's going to notice that if this were all genetic engineering, that all of them would have the same genetics, and therefore one couldn't actually make male and female out of this mix. Oh, drink for Mothra. And then also, even if you ignore the fact that you could not get both males and females out of this mix, that even then, all of them would just be clones. And that's not a good way to start a human population, is like 14 identical people other than their sex chromosomes.
Yeah.
Like that means that every single pairing is basically a self pairing. That's a bad idea. Stardust Lilith for $5 says, just to unleash Kip, he's clearing holding back, but I think he might have meant clearly. And yes, Kip is holding back, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort.
It's a titanic effort today. And to answer Aunt Jer's question, yes, I am feeling better. I'm no longer stuck in a fever dream. So that's good. But yeah, nowhere near 100% yet.
And yet he showed up, which I do appreciate.
I certainly did.
I would have had to do this without
no fever dream. So
yeah.
that has helped.
Nether 6 biblical accurate tunicate for 19 months at the Tetrapod level says, I show up and get bilboed right away. Not fair. Well, should have been on time to warn people about getting bilboed.
It should be the very first thing you do as soon as you show up, guys. It's
true.
Osiris
new. Baroque AIG for 100 Argentinian peso says, was one of these pairs Adam and his clone? So the thing is, to some degree, yes, because clearly the Adam and Eve story draws on other ancient Near East creation myths about the creation of humans, right? But then the question is like, okay, well, to what degree is this just the Sumerian Adam? And the thing is, I don't think that's an answerable question. I don't know, maybe you disagree, Kip. But like, I don't know that we can just say, like, give a number or something on like how similar this story is to the Genesis story. Like, clearly there's carry through, and there are themes that are floating around in the region that are picked up by the Hebrews. But like what? How do you put a number on it? And how do you say, like, was it plagiarism, which wasn't even really a thing that was invented?
Right. Yeah.
Like, especially since like plagiarism really only makes sense in a context where there is a culture around careful citation of sources and intellectual property rights and crediting people. In a culture where that hasn't really arisen as part of the literary culture, it doesn't really make sense to talk about in the first place. So that would be my take on it. And it's, but
I will say that most of the people who are really vocal against the characterization as plagiarism are usually doing so from a place where the effort is to show that the biblical texts are really unique and special. Don't depend on ideas from surrounding cultures and things. So I understand, and this is so I say this because I actually once upon a time, a long time ago, I and Dr. Josh actually made a video about this, countering this idea. So
it's one of those things where it's like the Bible is not independent of other myths from the region.
Yeah.
It's heavily dependent on them. But also calling it plagiarized is weird, and it certainly has its own distinctive spin on things, which makes it unique among those groups. But then again, all the other texts are unique among that group too. The Epic of Atrahasis has aspects that make it unique. So like, I don't know. It's a weird thing where like I feel like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. On the one side are like evangelical Christian apologists who want everything to be literally true, and everything that is in any way connected to the Bible is obviously just a corruption of it. And on the other hand, I have like, the type of people who come out of like r/atheism who are like, oh, see, the Bible was just entirely copied out of these ancient Sumerian works that I haven't read.
Yeah, I get it.
Neither of you were right about that. Lieutenant Math Navigator for $5 says, I'm no longer stuck in a fever dream. You know what's on screen? Are you sure?
I mean, I guess I can't be sure, but Yeah. If I'm still stuck in the fever dream, it's I can stay. It's fine. Fine, guys.
And hey,
Fine.
you know what might help Kip out of his fever dream is getting a Mudkip Davis emoji.
It might be. Is it the one that April made? Or is
Yeah,
it
I'm gonna be cutting out the body and just
Nice.
using the head. That's the plan.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my custom emojis, by the way, on
We
my
could-
own channel.
We could get it here too, but only if we get enough memberships. Which also means, hey, feel free to join yourself if you're interested. It's a $1.99 a month, so it's not super expensive. At least I try not to make it super expensive. It is more expensive than my cheapest option over on Top Hats Off. But hey, Top Hats Off doesn't give you as many perks. I'm going to be honest about it. Top Hats Off is... I'm very happy that people have joined over there because I don't know if I would. I'll be honest. Then Regios just gifted 20 Dapper Dinosaur memberships.
There you go.
Look at that. All right. Well, Kip, why don't you tell us about the difference between aspect and tense while I take 20 drinks?
Sure.
If you can.
So, I always struggle with this. Tense is temporal.
Yep.
Tense within your verbal paradigms is used to indicate whether an action, the time in which an action has taken place, whereas aspect very often confused for tense, and also I think very frequently used to indicate tense is technically not tense. Aspect only communicates the, how do I put this?
The level of completion of the action within the time frame already being talked about.
There you go. That's a good way of saying it. So actions are always only completed or incomplete.
Or sometimes ongoing. It varies by language.
Ongoing. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Now it's always, this is the kind of thing that always gets misunderstood and manipulated in wrong directions, because you often will encounter people who, upon discovering that there's no tense in Hebrew, only aspect,
well, real quick, Lieutenant Matt the Navigator just gifted 5 Dapper Dinosaur memberships, so I'm going to keep drinking.
Whoa, you keep drinking. So, but they will run with that to make all sorts of silly claims about things like prophecy's a big one, without actual tense. If it's all aspect, then people make all sorts of dumb claims about prophecy in the Bible. So,
all right, well, we need to take a quick break because I drank 3 more drinks and I am out. And we also have, I still need 2 more for Lieutenant Math Navigator, and Regios just gifted 10 more Dapper Dinosaur memberships. And then Anonymous Pie gifted 5 more. So I still need to drink 17 more times.
How many?
10 from Regios and then another 5 from Anonymous Pie.
But to reach the goal, how many do you need?
Oh, so it started at 200 and we've now had 61. So I guess we need 139 more.
39.
Unless the alcohol has ruined my ability to do arithmetic, which is a distinct possibility because...
What are you drinking today, by the way?
Right now, I just drank a Hard Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's a very meme-y type drink. I drink it for the memes. It's pretty good, though, if you like Baja Blast. And it doesn't have added sugar on top, so it's not the most calorific sweet drink that I've ever had. So I appreciate that because, geez, that would be a lot of calories.
My son was going to. I guess they didn't find any because he was going to pick up some dragon fruit Mountain Dew for me if he encountered it when he went to Seattle really yesterday. But I guess they didn't find any. So
I had lychee soju the other day. And
Oh,
that was
that
amazing.
would be good.
All right.
All
We're-
drinks made with lychee nuts are pretty
Yeah. Actually,
goddamn
I had
awesome.
some lychee wasabi beverage
Ooh,
in Japan,
wow.
and it was delicious and refreshing and sweet. And then it just smacked you in the face with wasabi.
Oh,
It was
that sounds
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
Sounds amazing.
It was really, really good. I've never ever
Wow.
seen it again, and I really want to find it, but I have no idea where to even find. I don't even know what brand it was, but I had it one time,
that's
and I was
probably
like,
right.
"This is amazing," and I've never seen it again. But anyway, we're gonna be right back. I'm gonna get myself another drink. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am feeling it more than normal right now. So we will be back in just a little bit. In the meantime, I hope that you can enjoy the Star Trek teaser for this week. Hopefully, I know I've said it for like the last 3 weeks, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna play this week. So yeah, we're gonna play that, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Next time on Star Trek Endurance.
First Officer's Log, Stardate 60195.9. After some much-needed shore leave, we've resupplied the ship and spent 2 weeks tweaking our sensor suites for more efficient and effective use while exploring the Shackleton Expanse. Now, the Kong Z has been assigned escort duty for a transport convoy to Array 3-5, a joint Klingon Federation deep space research outpost deep within the Shackleton Expanse. We're joined by the IKS Pe Kulvij, under command of Captain Gavik. The convoy will be a prime target for any pirates in the area, since it will be carrying valuable equipment and personnel. While the Orion and Ferengi governments have banned piracy and especially the slave trade, it is no secret that the Syndicate and, shall we say, independent Ferengi daimons are willing to flout such prohibitions if they think there's enough money to be made. We still have a couple of days until we leave dry dock, just enough time for engineering to make sure the new systems are well integrated and for the crew to get a few more days in of enjoying the hospitality of Narendra Station.
During the flight, the convoy will be forced out of warp in dangerous territory, and a new threat will rear its head. It seems that the Orions, Ferengi, and spatial anomalies are far from the biggest threat in the Shackleton Expanse. Can the crew effect repairs and fend off unknown enemies, all while keeping the precious crew and cargo of the convoy safe? Find out next time on Star Trek Endurance. We are back, and so there's a few things here. First of all, I have been informed that I missed a super chat, and I want to say that I am very sorry for that. But I want to say thank you to Snow White for informing me over on Discord. So this super chat was from Meat Permits Tad for $5, and it said, I miss Dan Aykroyd's TV show PSI Factor, Chronicles of the Paranormal, aka Canadian X-Files, starring Matt Frewer. AIG is a house of goblins, and I'll take a drink for that, although I do need to pour this drink. Sorry about the void there. I did not time my various break time activities very well, so I do want to apologize for that. So here is my drink for that. Let's see. Okay, so another 10 super chats have come in from Regios. Not super chats, sorry, memberships.
Memberships.
Yep.
Wow.
Which, why do I have my numlock off? I do have my numlock off. I'm trying to update. It's not working. There we go. Bent gets free pizza today.
Nice.
So I want to say thank you very much.
I like
Let's
free
see.
pizza.
Well, tell you what, move to Tucson, and I will. We can figure out how to get you some free pizza after you move to Tucson.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep. And the cool thing is, you don't have to worry about it cooling off because if you just leave it outside, it'll stay hot.
Wow, I bet, eh?
Yeah.
You know, we do the opposite thing here with cold things, right?
Yeah. You just leave it outside.
That's right.
Where I grew up, people who had non-insulated but like secure spaces during the winter would often leave a large
listen.
amount of food outside to just be frozen.
We had in the house that I grew up in, my dad.
You keep telling us
built
I'm going to start drinking for all those memberships.
My dad built a cool room, which was located underneath the stairs, and he insulated it, and then just basically piped in outside air into the cool room. So, and we kept all sorts of shit in there. It was like having a walk-in fridge most of the time.
Say Osiris Baroque AIG for 200 Argentinian pesos said, if you really want to scare Kip like you did Dr. Josh, ask him the difference between aspect and mood. I just did.
Today, yeah. So
aspect. No, you said aspect and mood. I said aspect and tense. Kip, do you know about mood? Is mood something
I do
that's
know
with
about
it?
mood. Yeah.
Tell people about mood while I drink.
Mood's something that we do in Greek. Because verbs have mood. But I'm not I'm not going to get into it.
Why not? Because you don't know?
No, well, because I knew once, and I would have to go over to my shelf there and crack open one of my Greek grammars like Wallace or Blosterbrunner in order to refresh my memory on
also,
it exactly.
I want to point out, English has moods.
I'm sure it does.
It has a declarative mood. It has an interrogative. Well, that's not a mood. That's a case.
Is that a case?
It is a case.
In Greek, I wonder if it is.
I don't remember. I don't think it's still a case in Greek, but it is a case in Latin. But it's pretty much only for like second declension masculine nouns that have a distinct vocative form.
Yeah, exactly.
It's why in Greek or in Latin, if you're doing like a Latin prayer and like a Latin mass or something, sometimes instead of Dominus, when you're just directly addressing the Lord, you say Domine, because Domine is the vocative form of Dominus.
Yes.
All right,
subjunctive,
subjunctive, and it happens in English. Technically the negative is a mood. But yeah. Let's see. We got a few things to read here before I do my next 10 drinks for Regios. Patrick Scarpati for $2 says, sorry I was late to click the like button. I forgive you. I'm glad that you did, though. Regios for $5 says, usually hit the chat regular with many memberships. Yes, thank you. It's been amazing. And then you just get another 10 memberships. And then Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2 says, I would have thought that adverbs were moodier. You know what? Sure.
I like what Angera says just above that. Kip's description of mood goes to another school. Yeah. That's fair.
Basically, what mood has to do with is about the truthiness of the sentence. Is a good way to think about it, right? Like the declarative mood means the sentence is true to the best of the speaker's knowledge, or at least that's what they're trying to portray.
Yes, that is a good way of thinking.
The subjunctive means that it's an aspirational or maybe true or something like that. Yes. The negative means it's not. An interrogative mood means you're not sure if it's true and you're asking about its truth. So that's a good way to think about it, is what does the speaker think about the truthiness of the sentence? And truthiness is indeed the word that I'm using in this technical description of a complex grammatical topic in linguistics.
We're going to make it happen in Dapper's big book of universal grammar and syntax that he's working on right now.
Yes, definitely. I have it open in Notepad because I'm a masochist. Imagine trying to write an entire book in Notepad. What a nightmare.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
Although I do like the Windows 11 version of Notepad. It's actually a pretty big improvement.
Has somebody done that before, or is it
Probably the guy who made Temple OS. Seems like the kind of thing he would do. Which I don't want to make fun of him too much because he was clearly a disturbed individual, but holy crap, is his output amazing. All right, we're going to hit play now that I've caught up on drinks, I think. Although I'm now realizing that we're only 5 minutes into the second hour, and I am almost out of... Or I'm about halfway done with this can, so I might need to go get my third and final can of Baja Blast before the day is out. And also, Ben gets free pizza, but we're also very, very close to a fancy avatar. So if you want another vote on what avatar for me to use next, the most recent one was actually Steamboat Dappy, which is my version of Mickey Mouse from the now public domain Steamboat Mickey. That was the one I most recently made. So if you have early access, which now 71 new people do have early access, you can go see me as Mickey Mouse.
Is there a drunken dinosaur yet?
Not as a separate avatar.
It should be.
But if I make a getting drunk gag, I will make a special scene of the drunken dinosaur. I've done a few like I need to go and get drunk gags on various videos because someone said something just so stupid that it's just like, all right, I'm gonna go and down like a fifth of whiskey, and then come back.
I don't know. I just think it'd be fun watching a dinosaur stumble around and fall down and stare into oblivion, contemplating his...
I'll tell you what.
His existence.
If you're willing to animate it, I can send you the Blender files.
I'm not.
Okay,
so...
well, here we go.
Somebody else might be, though.
Maybe. Hey, if you're willing to animate that, let me know.
Attempt, guys, to create human beings, mankind, from genetic modifications.
Okay, Billy, how did you get there? Because what you just read me didn't sound like that.
But wait a minute. Doesn't there have to be... Doesn't genetic modifications mean that there's already people that he's working from?
Yeah, so Billy's contention is that the pre-humans that are being used as the basis for this are some of the things that we found as fossils of hominins, like Homo erectus or Homo habilis or something.
But that's not even what the text is saying, right? Like,
not at all.
The bits of clay that are being pinched off here are not already
apes that exist,
or anything. It's
right.
Just
it's
clay,
there's the only pre-existing like being that is being used here is the guy who got killed,
who got munched. Yes,
who's already one of the aliens, according to Billy.
Right.
So, like, none of this actually makes any sense. There's no
sense.
No mention of any pre-existing organisms that are being modified here. And the only way that you could say that maybe the clay is supposed to be the unmodified organisms, but Billy isn't making that point. He could try. He could be like, oh, you see, metaphorically, the unmodified clay
soup, but that's already been pretty damn modified.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The only thing he could use is the clay, but he's not. He isn't going there, which means he doesn't actually have an explanation as to how this ties in. And sorry, I realize I'm getting a little loud and a little bit interrupty, and I blame the alcohol.
It's the alcohol, isn't it? Yeah,
it absolutely is. I am considerably more buzzed than I normally am at this point. Like I'm at the point where I'm like, this could be dangerous. Not physically, but like in terms of
just
what if I say something
inside? Oh, that I see. Right.
Yeah. What if I actually reveal my secret religious position that none of you are allowed to know?
Oh, that could be dangerous.
Although technically I've already released it, and it's that I follow the Klingon religion, which technically makes me an atheist because the Klingons slew their gods, so there are no gods anymore. That was one of my April Fool's videos where I was like, "Oh, Dapper's an atheist, 100% confirmed." And then I just kind of told the creation myth of the Klingons in Klingon in the video for like about 5 minutes. And then the rest of like the 20-minute video was just an animation loop saying, "Yep, video's over. You can go now."
I'm sad to say that I fell for Dr. Justin Sledge's April Fool's joke.
Which one was that? I don't even remember that one.
He announced that he had received a sponsorship partnership with EJ Brill. So
Oh, I do remember that now that you mention it. Vagary Vagrant Vagabond of Variant Vistas, who's been a member for 21 months, says, you think Carson's mind would explode if you explained how much gold and other metals are based in the asteroid belts? Cheers for Regios. It might. I don't know. I don't even... That's the thing. I don't know. Maybe Maya would know, because Maya has seen a lot more of Billy Carson than I have. Yeah.
She's still here.
So Maya, if you can weigh in.
She might be. Yeah.
Really, I think the next time one of my regulars for this show can't show up, if we're still on Billy, I should just invite Maya.
You should.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of feel bad that it didn't occur to me earlier than this, because Maya's been on the channel before, and
cool.
Yeah, but it's been a while, and I've actually been on her channel much more recently than she's been on this one.
I've seen you on her channel. Yeah.
Did I do a good job?
Yes.
Yay! Regios for $5, bringing us up to only 11 super chats left before Kip is unleashed. Says, interrupting Dapper means less Billy, so it's mostly okay. All right, well, that's good. And then Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say people do seem happy about the fact that that Billy doesn't get to talk much. So
yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. I am, however, tired of YouTube crashing. Getting old.
Is it happen? It hasn't happened yet today.
Oh, it's happened twice today for me.
Really? Wow.
Wow. Let's see. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2 says, so the original hominid was Homo pottybarnensis. Pottery barnensis. Yeah, that was the first one. Because of all the clay. That's actually really good. I like that. Thank you.
That is good.
That's
Very good.
That's excellent. Then Osiris Baroque AIG for 200 Argentinian pesos, bringing us up to 2/3 done with the goal here. Says, I love that if a bunch of nonsense is signed as B. Carson, it could be Billy, Ben, or Billy, and no one would ever know.
My phone just rang to notify me that I was gifted a Dapper Dinosaur membership. Thank you.
Hey, look at that. You're back in the Discord if you want.
I can stay in the Discord.
Look at that. And we are now past the fancy avatar stage, so there will be a fancy avatar thing added. Let's see, we got a few more things. Osiris, oh no, already read that. Metageeky Platypus Librarian, who's been a member for 9 months, is at the tetrapod level, says, sorry for Dap's liver, Mothra, and Godzilla, which means I get to drink again. Thank you very much. And then Metageeky Platypus Librarian then sent 10 more Dapper Dinosaur memberships, which means I get to drink 10 more times. So, Kip, in 5 words or less, describe the difference between Hebrew grammar and Arabic grammar. Go. You're doing a really bad job.
That's 0 words, dude. That's way better. It's fine.
It's fine. There you go. That's the description.
You know, I have had like just very, very rudimentary Arabic. So I know almost nothing.
We gotta fix that
grammar.
We gotta fix that.
We probably should.
I got A's in Arabic 1, 3, and 4, and I didn't take Arabic 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Actually, so I took the course material for Arabic 2 in my Arabic 1 class. Because when I showed up for that, and my professor was like, all right, so here's what we're going to go over in Arabic 1. Like, after class, I was like, okay, professor, can we just give me, like, the Arabic 2 stuff? And he was like, yeah, sure, if you can read this paragraph. Because Arabic 1 was literally just how to pronounce Arabic and read the alphabet with points. With all the vowel pointing. Yeah, it was the whole semester.
Wow.
And so I'm like, yeah, a whole semester. So I was like, all right, I'm going to read this paragraph, but I'm not going to be able to translate most of it because I don't know all the words. He was like, yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to see if you can actually pronounce it and read it and whatnot. So, yep, I read a paragraph in Arabic, didn't understand most of it. And he was like, yep, sure, tomorrow we're going to start you on Arabic 2. And you...
3, right?
No,
Oh,
two, yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the rule was the requirement for Arabic 3 was either Arabic 2 or professor permission. So I got the professor permission to sign up for Arabic 3.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. All right, we got a few more things here. Right-handed Sith, who's been a member for 28 months, says you should just automatically invite Maya every time. I mean, I feel like most of the time it would be a hassle for Maya because I know that she's busy and I don't know. Maya, if you really feel like you need to be on the channel a lot more, let me know. It's like I don't know. Prixie, overthrow Dapitalism purple. Why would you overthrow Dapitalism? Who's been a member for 17 months and is at the Tetrapod level, says Blender is hard. I only 3D models in Fusion 360. Look, Blender has a learning wall, and you have to get over the wall in order to do Blender. But it is a very powerful software, and it's pretty cool. And if you want to see me using it, the last few streams over on Top Hats Off have all been me doing stuff in Blender. So, Jake, insert clever Dapper. Inside joke here. Nelson for $5 says, knock knock, who's there? Interrupting dinosaur. Interrupting dinosaur. Thank you very much. The South Geek Original Taste TM, jeez, who's been a member for 27 months, says, on my way to Serbia to sample sunflowers for pollinator DNA. Interesting. Gonna listen to you guys tomorrow. Love y'all. Don't get Bilboed. We already got Bilboed. That sounds like a really interesting idea. Or like sampling sunflowers for the DNA of the things that pollinate them. That's really cool. Carnival Frog for $5 says, contributing to keeping Carson quiet and clearing Kip's cursing. That was very alliterated, and I really like it.
Very nice. I appreciate that.
All right. So
by the way, Maya says she'd make an appearance for Billy.
Well, I definitely should have invited you last time, but I will. The next time either Kip or Vishanti doesn't show up, I will invite you on. I don't normally like much more than 2 guests unless it's a special, very special occasion. That's part of the reason that I don't have a lot of guests. It's hard for me to keep track, so that's one of the reasons I do that. Yeah, so it's a me thing. It's me having trouble with all of that. Anyway, here's Billy, and I want to point out that the over-under is 3.5 minutes, and so far we are under.
Well, under. Yeah.
Not that much. We're 2 minutes. So,
That's pretty far under, but yeah.
You know what, Kip? I will send a moose to go assassinate you.
You don't have any, dude.
I don't need them. I'll hire
They're
them.
all here.
That's why I'm going to hire a local moose.
Local to here.
Yeah, they get paid in seaweed. It's easy.
Okay, thank you, DJ Quickco, for the donation. And so what's interesting here is these were clones. You see how they did these? They made these clones.
Oh, so he does know that. No, because remember I said how earlier like they would have to all be identical since all the genetic material was the same. And he said they were all clones. So like that's if by that he means they were all identical to each other, then that is what I had said earlier. So he does get that. So I'm going to call that a confirmed prediction and take a drink.
Okay. All right.
Plus, I don't know, I haven't had a confirmed prediction in like it feels like months.
They used the genetic material from an existing hominid, from
not in the text, but okay,
one of their own people, and then they made these genetically modified beings.
Yeah, he has to be trying to imply that the clay is the genetic material of the pre-existing hominid.
It's got to be that, right?
But how you get from ape to clay, I don't know. Like, if ape is something that you're familiar with enough that you can talk about it, why wouldn't you just use whatever your word is for that animal? I don't get it.
Because it's Sumerian, right? That must be it.
I mean, I guess maybe we don't know what the word for ape is in Sumerian. Maybe it just happens to be the same as the word for clay in Sumerian. Right? Like, I don't know.
Could be, right?
Yeah. For $5, Lieutenant Math Navigator says, it's not you, it's me, Dapper 2025. Okay, look. First, yes, I get that. But also it is. I have trouble keeping track of large numbers of people outside of very, very carefully structured environments, which is why I can do it for TTRPGs, because it's very structured. And I can, as the GM, tell everyone to shut up and then focus on who I want to hear from first and then go down the line if I need to. Whereas that's less able if I'm just hosting a big get-together online. Yeah. So, and it is me.
But they didn't use real wombs. They used artificial wombs.
They didn't seem to use wombs at all.
No.
What are you talking about, Billy?
Like, is he reading the text?
Well, the thing is, he's
he
reading
just read it.
Right.
He just read it.
He's reading in the sense that the words that he's seeing are words that he's able to pronounce roughly correctly.
Sure. Yes.
But he's not reading it in the sense of, like, comprehension, right? Because there's multiple levels of reading. Like, the surface level is, can you pronounce the words out there and just get them out of your mouth in a way that people who know that language would recognize as the words in the text? Which is roughly what I did in my Arabic 1 class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Billy's not much beyond that level, it seems. The second level is, like, being able to...
should be, though.
He should be. The second level of reading, right, is being able to take that and recognize what each word means and have yourself, like, at least a surface level understanding of what the words are supposed to be. Then another deeper level of reading is being able to detect things like themes, rhetorical goals, literary conventions, things like that, right? The kind of thing that literary analysis is all about. Billy seems to be stuck somewhere between level, like, 0 and level 1, and closer to 0 than to 1. And 0 is just, like, being able to pronounce the words in a roughly correct manner. So that's what I would say is going on there. Is Billy can sometimes understand what he's reading. He can definitely pronounce most of the words in a way that's recognizable. Although, as we've seen, sometimes he screws it up. That's why we got the classic blarn from Billy, which is just amazing.
Still amazing. Yeah.
But, like, yeah, that's where Billy seems to be operating. Is somewhere between being able to pronounce and being able to understand the sentences in a literal surface level. All right, so DM Apes to Claywing, excellent, member for 35 months at the annual level says, AIG is a container of 200 members with a deal with it. Darwin, there we go. I was going to say deal with it Dapper, but it's clearly Darwin, so what am I talking about? Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, did this man have the same English teacher as Kent Owen? Well, I don't think he says water like that. And then Regios for $5 says, getting closer to Kip Unleashed. It's true. Only 5 more to go. And then Kip is unleashed. And I'm sure that, by the way, Bent is very grateful because he is going to be able to eat today.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that in my subdued state, I will end up disappointing people. But, I mean, there's only one way to find out, right?
All right. Well, there is, actually. We're going to do it right now. We're going to start a poll.
Uh-oh.
Is Kip a disappointment? Come on, Ments. There we go. Yes. No. All right. There we go. Oh,
nice. Thanks, Dinosaur. That's great.
So now we have a poll up about is Kip a disappointment? And once the poll concludes, we will know if Kip is a disappointment.
I'm definitely voting Turtle.
Okay, that's fair. Turtle's currently in the lead with like 100% or 50% of the votes. 44? Oh, no.
Well,
No's coming in. All right, here we go.
Oh, dear.
This is the beginning stage. And the problem that they had with these, like, I can't read all this text to you tonight, obviously.
I mean, you could, but okay.
We'd be here for hours. But the problem that they had...
Billy, we're already here for hours? I don't care. Like, I say this like Billy's ever going to watch this. Billy, if you ever watch this, hello, please stop. But if you're not going to stop, then yeah, actually, you should read the whole text.
Had with these was that
yes,
these beings, they couldn't mate with each other. They couldn't actually reproduce.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold up. The Anunnaki are literally the sons of Anu. How did they get to exist if the gods couldn't reproduce with each other?
Sorry, I just got very distracted by this super chat here from DJ Quaiko on Billy's channel. First of all, that's a choice you make when you elect to use that as your your avatar on YouTube.
Yes, it is. It is indeed a choice.
It really is. So much love and care for humanity, life, and planets. But no.
That's certainly not what
That's
Billy's
the
doing.
problem, right? This is the problem. With a person who is actively causing harm.
Yes,
That's what's happening here, DJ. Put your shirt back on.
that's not actually
And-
DJ. I don't think.
I mean, it could be. But,
Okay, that's fair.
whoever you are, put your shirt back on, and take a step outside of this, and see that that's not what's happening.
It's really not. It's quite possibly the actual opposite of that.
It's the opposite, right?
Like, look, I get that sometimes you might feel fuzzy, warm feelings about things, and then do things in relation to that cause harm. That's not what I would consider love. I'm sorry.
Nope.
It's not loving to harm people. Lieutenant Matt the Moose Broker. There we go. Nice. For $5 said, speaking of turtles, my partner and I witnessed turtles making the beast with 2 carapaces last week. Oh, that's
What are
nice.
carapaces? I don't know
It's a
what those
reference
are.
to the beast with 2 backs, which is a Shakespearean reference for intercourse.
Oh, cool.
Kip doesn't know Shakespeare.
No.
Kip, we're gonna have to get you all of the Shakespeare classics in their original Klingon, so that once you learn Klingon, you'll be able to
in
read
the
all of
original.
them.
I do have an English
English.
Shakespeare reader somewhere here. So
You gotta get
and I did read it a long time ago.
Alright.
So
I'll tell you what, if we can get this goal, I will set another very high goal for reading through some Shakespeare and Klingon. A high goal that I don't expect us to meet, but if we do, it'll be worth it. So let's see. Oh, we just hit it!
we
Kip,
hit
you're
it.
unleashed. You can say as many F-bombs as you want.
Right.
There we go.
certainly did.
All right. Let's see. The Southgate Original Taste TM for €5 says, let me help unleash Kip before I leave. Also, let the dinosaur drink. Godzilla! AIG is a satchel of billies. All right, we'll take a drink for that. Thank you. Let's see. Regios for $5 says, torn between No and Turtle on that poll. Understandable. Jennifer Silvas for $2 says, the clones can't reproduce. Keep track. Oh, I'm sorry. Jake, insert clever Dapper inside joke here. Nelson for $5 says, Dapper / Maya collab next Saturday. AIG is a sack of euphemistic snakes. I'll take a drink for that.
Listen, I am happy to step aside and let Maya fill this chair.
Okay. We'll tell you what. Put that in our group chat to see if Vishanti is okay with you stepping away next week, and then I will ask Maya if she wants to come, and then maybe we'll start a Maya and Vishanti and me day of Billy Carson for next week.
There you go.
Stardust
Sounds
Lilith for
amazing,
$5 says,
actually.
Kip is unleashed! And more tweets for Dagon. Thank you very much. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to go get myself another drink because I am out.
Because you're just crushing them today. That's for
I
sure.
am in a way that
Just-
has not happened in a very long time.
Yes.
We're at 99 drinks, Kip.
Wow. That
Yeah.
sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
It sounds like a fucking lot.
It is a fucking lot, and I'm a little sloshed as a result. So I'm gonna go get a drink. And in the meantime,
Sure.
Kip, what you should
Yes.
do is you should talk about how much you like all the horror movies that Vishanti and I have showed you.
Oh, I was in a fever dream when you did that stream. So I watched. I remember nothing, but I'm sure I liked all the horror movies. Maybe I didn't. Now I can't tell. Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist suggests that I'm uncultured because I don't know Shakespeare. I mean, I guess that's not saying a lot. I am. It's kind of obvious when you watch enough of my shit that I'm. Yeah, fuck. That's true. That's fair. So
That is a good point.
yeah.
And I am back, and I now have my third hard Baja Blast.
And we still haven't. We still have to finish watching Empty Man.
Yep. That's true.
And last week I was still in a fever dream.
Well, we're probably gonna have to
last
wait
week.
until Vishanti is back from her.
That's true. Yes,
her
from
thing.
Comic-Con. Yeah.
Yep. Which, by the way, speaking of Vishanti, if you do want to help her out, because she just has work for this weekend, but that is not steady. Her continued survival fundraiser is there. So feel free. It is linked in the description, I believe. Yep, it is. As is her wish list. As is my wish list. So if you wanted to get me some comic books or some I don't know, beef jerky sticks or some ramen or some TTRPG books or a $500 recording studio, feel free. Also, don't give me the $500 recording studio. That's way too much. I mean, unless you're like a millionaire, in which case, do whatever you want. I don't care. Here we go.
Jacob mate, but they couldn't have babies. They weren't getting pregnant. That was the biggest problem that they had. So I was like, damn, we got to keep cloning.
Is that in the text there?
No, that's Billy's inference, which, to be fair, is a reasonable inference if he's talking about the clones, which I guess he is. I messed up. I thought he was talking about the gods. So,
okay.
Now, the thing is, clones would actually be able to reproduce, but it would be like the most hardcore inbreeding that you can even imagine.
Right.
Becca Justiniana says some rice to absorb the alcohol. I'll tell you what. I currently have just barely over 15 pounds of rice. And when I drop below 15 pounds of rice, I am going to once again move that rice from lowest priority up to medium. So if you see the rice go to medium priority, that is your signal that if you wanted to, you could send some rice. So, yeah. I had a bunch of rice the other day, in part because I'm trying to cut down on how much animal stuff I eat.
My mother-in-law was just visiting this last week, and I don't know why I didn't know this before, but she hates rice, apparently.
Really? That's weird.
Yes. Isn't it weird? It's
How do you hate
very
rice?
weird. I don't understand it.
I just got the
But
hiccups.
That's
bad.
The hiccups are terrible, yes. But yeah. So I was not allowed to make anything. Well, I was in a fever dream for half of it, but when I was no longer in a fever dream, I was not allowed to make anything with rice.
Even just for yourself?
No, I guess I could have for myself.
Okay.
But
I made fried rice the other day.
It's a house full of people. It's kind of selfish if you
Yeah,
just
fair.
do things for yourself.
I made chicken fried rice with bamboo shoots and water chestnuts and peas and carrots, green beans, and obviously chicken and some mirin and some rice vinegar and some soy sauce and MSG, obviously.
Obviously.
I put a fair bit of MSG in. If you're not using MSG in your fried rice, then what the heck is wrong with you?
What are you doing?
Pelagic Thought, who's been a member for 14 months and is at the amulet level, says, meat. Thank you for thank you for being more than cool. Oh, you are welcome, Pelagic Thought, and I appreciate you for using a thorn in your username, as well as in your chat. Thorn is one of my favorite letters. Lieutenant Matt the Moose Broker for $2 says, just convert the rice to rice wine for the stream. Good. That's probably something I could do. Then Dutch Place of Hostility student gets for $2 says 100 drinks with a Mothra, and that does indeed get us 100 drinks. All right, so it is now time for me to update this counter here and continue on with Billy after pointing out that, hey, we are only 78% away from Dapper wearing a tutu on the next Kent with Bent. So it's a possibility. It's not a high possibility, but it could happen. All right, here we go.
We got to keep doing this over and over and over and over again to keep creating this workforce so we can keep these Ijiji happy so they don't come attack us because they outnumber us. There's more of them than us. They got more weapons than we have. And
actually, I don't remember if it specified all the weapons that they had, but I'll just accept that.
Yeah,
so
I don't think that's there.
It's not, but I think it's like one of those inferences from the text that wouldn't be completely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the rest of his inferences, which are just Zechariah's issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
What we got to do is we got to make these people happy. So they started this whole cloning project that they started doing with this same exact thing that I just read in the Atrahasis epic. Okay, and they kept doing it over and over again.
Yeah, but nothing in the Epic of Atrahasis says that, though, Billy. Like, you got one instance that I could reasonably say is cloning, and then you didn't tell us what happens after that. Are you going to read what happens after that? And if no, is it because it contradicts what you're currently saying?
It kind of sounds like he's fatigued about the reading at this point. He said that he's got lots and lots of other texts that he could read.
Oh.
At this point to confirm what he said, but he said he's not going to read them. I'm pretty sure I remember him saying that.
Yes, that is unfortunate that reading a few pages of the Epic of Atrahasis has exhausted Billy's capacity to read.
Yes.
That is sad. I mean, it actually is sad. Like, come on, Billy. You should be able to read more than that. Especially if you're going to present yourself as some kind of, like, scholar. You should be able to read more than a few pages, buddy. Like, if you sit down to read for scholarship, what's roughly your limit on number of pages, you think? Like a few hundred?
I mean, if I'm reading secondary stuff, yeah. Considerably less when I'm reading original text.
That's because you're sitting there and translating as you go.
Yeah.
But Billy's not doing that.
He's not doing that. Well, I mean, but maybe for him, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, maybe it takes as much effort for him to read English as it does for you to read Hebrew.
Maybe it's a lot of effort for him to get through this English translation. I think it's Stephanie Dolly's translation.
It sounds right.
Recently, but yeah.
That sounds like something you told me.
Which I think is a very good translation, but
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what else he's got for us.
They were having a lot of failures with genetic defects. People dying too soon.
Yeah, none of that's anywhere in here, Billy.
Not anywhere.
It's not. At least it's not in what you read. How about that?
All this crazy stuff. But they had created a lot of people.
Yes, that's true, isn't it? That's crazy stuff.
It is crazy stuff.
Fucking rights, Billy.
But if we get like 10 more seconds in, we're gonna go over 3.5 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people
do that.
They just couldn't get them to reproduce properly. Much later, ISIS takes.
I'm sorry, ISIS from the Egyptians.
He did say ISIS, right? I was
someone who's definitely not in any of the Epic of Atrahasis. What?
Wow.
I'm just that's dumb enough that I'm taking a drink right away. Like, jeez, Billy. Every myth is real, except it's all about ancient aliens cloning humans from DNA of apes and also by killing each other to mix in with the DNA by stomping on it. Because that's how genetic engineering works, guys. If you want to make a hybrid of two species, you collect both of them, you kill them, and then you stomp on them. And then you spit in that, and then you take some of that, and you toss it on the ground, and then suddenly it becomes a new hybrid of those two things. That's how genetics works.
But no. Didn't he put him in an artificial womb?
Yeah, Billy did say that, but the text did. Text just had them on the ground.
Oh, yes, right, fair. Okay.
Yeah, but apparently for Billy, the ground is just an artificial womb.
I guess that's what it is.
Takes one of these zygote eggs and
zygote egg. It's either a zygote or an egg, Billy. In this case, we're talking about mammals here.
That.
Yeah. Osiris Baroque AIG for 100 Argentinian pesos says, I didn't know Daesh was hanging around with the Anunnaki. that is the other ISIS, not this one. Do you know that one? There.
I do not. No.
So Daesh is so ISIS is the the Islamic State in Syria. And that's the English acronym. The Arabic acronym is Daesh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you listen to Arabic media or media that's owned by Arabs, sometimes you'll hear the Islamic State in Syria referred to as Daesh.
Daesh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Puts it in her womb and carries it to term. She actually has a baby. Okay, she actually does it. Let me see if I can get to that real quick.
Oh yes, let's
take a quick look
here.
at that. This is a famous cylinder scroll.
Ooh.
We're going to a different text here.
Yeah. Which also, it's cylinder scroll. I'm pretty sure what he means is cylinder seal.
Yes.
Yeah. So a cylinder seal.
Those are different things.
Right. A scroll is rolled up writing material.
I suppose
that you
every
unfold.
scroll is a cylinder when you think about it.
Yeah, but a cylinder scroll isn't really a thing. A cylinder seal is a thing that the Sumerians made. And what it is a cylinder of something that you can carve into. And then what you do is you press it into the clay and you roll it along the clay so that there's a negative impression of whatever's carved into the cylinder on the clay.
Clever.
And you can use it to easily reproduce little bits of text and artistic motifs, or do it as like an official seal, saying that this is like super totally from the actual official temple because we have their cylinder seal and we rolled it across this clay that we're going to fire. So yeah, a cylinder seal, and a scroll, not the same thing. And I don't know which one he's talking about.
And I believe it's in the British Museum.
Well, I mean, what isn't? Lieutenant Matt, the Moose Broker, for $2 says, as opposed to a pyramid scroll. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
This is definitely not what we're talking about here, is pyramid scroll. And also, I want to say, with 81 gifted memberships today, I believe we are now 111 away from a Mudkip Davis.
119?
119. Yeah, that's better. The alcohol did, in fact, affect my arithmetic.
Sure.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. But hey, that means that we're close to halfway. But I do want to point out that they do expire. And every day, a few people who had memberships then have it expire. So, we're coming up on halfway there. But we need a little bit more than that to get there. But hey, maybe we can get there next month. Who knows?
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me go
That's not a cylinder seal or a scroll.
No, it's not.
To be fair, though, he did just open up his set of...
Here it goes.
Oh, hey,
here we go.
That's a cylinder
seal.
A
cylinder seal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm going to take that as a drink for confirmed prediction.
I'm guessing that this is the child that she has just born here.
Yeah.
That she's suspending over her lap. Okay.
That looks like her arms would get so tired.
True. Yes.
Maybe it's like a dynamic.
Maybe she's like bouncing him very aggressively on her leg.
Or maybe she's just lifting him up.
Snapped in mid.
Yeah, exactly.
Bounce.
So it's a dynamic, not a static pose.
Right.
Okay. But then again, maybe aliens have like infinite fortitude for their arms, and they just don't ever get tired.
That could be too.
We don't know.
How do we get to Homo sapiens sapien? So they went through this cloning thing. It was working out because it was creating workers to work and do the load and take the pressure off of them. But at the same
okay, hold on. Look at his label for this. Generations of ISIS, aka Genesis.
Do you think he also thinks that ISIS has something to do with the title of Genesis?
Yes, I do. I think he thinks that Genesis is a portmanteau of generations of ISIS.
ISIS, correct. Yes.
Yep.
I believe that's probably it.
You know who's nowhere on this cylinder seal?
ISIS?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's not ISIS.
It's not.
You know how I can tell?
Because
it's not Egyptian. Exactly.
Correct? Yeah.
Jeez, I'm taking another drink for that. How the fuck do you get to be this dumb? In case anyone is wondering, Genesis is just a Greek title for that book that comes from the Septuagint. And it has to
Yep.
do with Greek words that mean like the origin or also birth giving, right? That is connected there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it basically just means beginning in Greek. And it was applied to the book of Genesis because it contains the creation myths. Like,
Yep.
Billy. This is amazingly dumb. I don't think I could invent something this dumb.
I mean, have you tried?
No. Because I value my brain being reasonably healthy despite all of the alcohol that everyone is making me drink. Also, we're ending the poll. So we're going to see if Kip's a disappointment. Is Kip a disappointment? Turtle is the clear winner with 51% of the votes. Followed by no at 33% of the votes. Followed by yes at 14% of the votes. So 14% of the 77 people who voted are disappointed in you, Kip.
So that's like 10, 11 people, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So it's like that's basically like Maya and 10 people then,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Same time, they knew that to do what they really want to do, this ultimate mission of pretty much terraforming this entire planet.
What does that even mean, though, Billy? Because you're picturing this as happening like maybe 100,000, 200,000 years ago. What
When did we get
terraformation?
Terraforming.
Yeah, I don't know. What terraformation does he think needs to be done to Earth between 300 million years ago and now? Not 300 million, sorry, 300,000 years ago.
Yeah, but and I mean, even in his own explanation of the text, they're digging for gold, right? Is that
yeah? Although in the actual text they're digging irrigation canals, but yeah, he seems to think they're digging for gold.
Of course, but is that the terraforming? Is the gold digging?
I don't know, because that wouldn't. That's just mining, right? That's not terraforming.
I'm trying to. I mean, we can't account for the fucking bullshittery that occurs inside of Billy's brain.
That's true. Maybe he just doesn't know what
dots.
Maybe he just doesn't know what terraforming is.
Possible.
Let's see.
Seems probable, actually, as I think about.
Lieutenant Matt, the moose broker, for $5 says Tubal Cain was Polynesian and the inventor of tubal ligation. I am never going to get over the fact that Bodie Hodge legitimately suggested that maybe Tuvalu, the country, was founded by the descendants of Tubal because of the vague similarities in the names. I am never going to recover from that absolute bullshit. It's similar to calling this ISIS, right? It is similar.
It's not that far removed, Dapper, from suggesting that the Amaluki were the Amalekites. And that was proposed by a PhD Egyptologist. So
yeah, but a disgraced PhD Egyptologist.
Fair, yes, true. But Bodhi, I mean, is just a disgrace. No?
Correct, to humanity, yeah.
Yes. So
he is a discredit to your entire species.
Yes.
And notice that I, as a dinosaur, stand apart from the species.
I see obviously. That you're taking no ownership of that. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get a little bit more Billy in here, and we're probably gonna wrap up in not too much longer.
Okay.
But we have gone. Have we? No, we're almost at over.
It would take millions of people. So ISIS here, you can see ISIS here in this scroll.
What would take millions of people? What are we talking about?
To maintain a population of Homo sapiens.
Okay.
Yeah, which it wouldn't. It would take tens of thousands, but like whatever. Who cares?
Sure.
I like to give idiots like this like a free order of magnitude, and
maybe it would take millions of people to do all the fucking terraforming. Maybe that.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what terraforming needs to be done, but Like, does Billy think that before 300,000 years ago, like, there wasn't any oxygen in the air, or like the temperatures were like wildly different or something?
He might, right?
He might.
He very well might.
Okay.
It's a trace of the scroll here on the right.
He learned about it
She's
from
holding-
the cylinder scroll.
Yes, the cylinder. He's doubling down on it being a scroll right now, by the way.
God.
The Adamu. This is called the Adamu. So in text on this scroll, it says, my hands have made it. Okay. And she named this being the Adamu.
Okay, but Billy, you said that it came out of her womb, not that her hands had made it. So which one is it, Billy? Because, okay, look, I've never been pregnant. But I feel like some of my audience
also
has.
have never been pregnant.
Some of my audience, I believe, has been pregnant. So of my audience members who have been pregnant, or maybe are pregnant right now, did you reach into your uterus to hand fashion your baby? Just wondering. Let me know. Tag me.
And if you could have done that, would things have gone differently?
Probably. But it probably would have just been a miscarriage.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Adamu. This is the first perfectly created, genetically created Homo sapiens sapien based on what they what they wanted it to be, which is actually us now today.
Is he saying saying Homo sapien sapien or Homo sapien sabin?
He's trying to say sapiens sapiens, which, if there were subspecies of Homo sapiens, would be the designation for the general current human population. But there are no other subspecies that are currently accepted, which means he's just being stupid, but in a way that I don't really care about.
Sure.
Jennifer Silva says no, and I'm assuming that means that Jennifer Silva is someone who is or has been pregnant. Stardust Lilith says no, it would have ended up very differently. Jillian Pomflet Wren says, I mean, technically the doctor reached into my uterus to remove 2 of my 3, but I don't think that's the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. But also, Pegasus Anti-Gravity Rapture Devices just gifted 5 Dapper Dinosaur membership. Thank you so much. I really, like, it's been an amazing amount of support, in order to get that Mudkip Davis that we all want. So here's 5 drinks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right, so what I'm getting is that of the members of my audience who are or have been pregnant and who are willing to talk about this, none of them reached into their own uterus to hand fashion their babies. So
I do like that. Where did I saw it? No, I lost it. Somebody said this was an artisanal baby.
Artisanal, I believe.
Artisanal, yes. There we go. It's words of a king 7 times purified rum.
Yes, it's an artisanal baby.
There's no baby.
I made it by hand. Okay.
And so she gave birth to the first Adamu. She held it in her own womb instead of a cloning thing. And
held
she gave
it
birth
in her own womb.
I'm just gonna say that's just a weird non-standard use of held.
Maybe it's
fine.
but it could be, because remember, Dapper, the wombs are artificial wombs, so maybe it's on the out. It's not in the. It's not her. It's her artificial womb that was made by the.
When you say my own womb, I feel like that's the one that is part of your body.
The artificial womb that I got at the womb market. The artificial womb market.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that my own.
Located in South Africa.
Like let's say I was at like a butcher's, right? And I wanted to get some like beef tongue, right? I would not say this is my own tongue after I got that beef tongue from the butcher. I might say this is my tongue that I bought. I might say this is my tongue that I'm going to cook, but I wouldn't say this is my own tongue. That implies very strongly that it's the tongue that I'm currently holding on to that I can't talk with. That one. This is my own tongue. Right?
Yes. Fair.
Like, that's what that means. By the way, that's another grammatical thing that some languages do. They have possession for alienable possession versus inalienable. So, for instance, if you had like, this is my hand using alienable possession, that would be just some hand that you happen to own that came from something. I don't know, like a monkey or a different person or something. But if you used inalienable possession, then that would be the hand that is actually yours. And even if someone else has it, because they've removed it from you, it's still your inalienable possession hand. So there you go. That's another cool grammar thing. Anyway, Peggy J says, anti-gravity rupture devices get you 5 Dapper Dinosaur memberships. I don't remember if I took drinks for them, so I'm going to again. And then also, Metageeky Platypus Librarian for $2 says, more kittens and puppies than humans, if true. You know, we do need more kittens and puppies.
Absolutely.
All right. We're getting a little bit more in. We're gonna call it. But we are now at let's see. We're at 5 minutes, so we've definitely gone over.
Very
We
good.
got through 5 minutes of this.
Incredible.
2 hours.
Of her own womb, and it took 10 months gestation period according to their the tablets. 10 months, not 9.
I think that's just because the Sumerian calendar had smaller months.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's all
probably.
that's going
Yeah.
on there. And also, of course, the 9 months traditional length, like it's a little arbitrary, or if you're just going to count months, that's not really how it works. So, like, whatever. I don't care about this month discrepancy.
They were, famously a little less precise in antiquity about some of these things because of the
pregnancies
way
don't have
that
a
they
single
factored months. And,
Also, pregnancies don't have a single duration. Like, it turns out every pregnancy is different.
Right.
They don't all last the same amount of time. Which, people might know if they've ever been pregnant or known someone who was pregnant or have just ever heard about pregnancy.
And she gave birth to the Adamu, which means first man. And so
I don't think it means that, but you know what? I don't know enough Sumerian to contest any of this.
I also do not know enough Sumerian to contest this.
Yeah, that's why we should have had Dr. Josh on.
That's right.
And then I could have asked him about things like, could you describe the difference between the genitive case and the construct state?
Yeah.
And he would have hated it.
He probably.
Sorry, Dr. Josh.
As you can see, Adam is here being born, but prior to him...
Nope, that's not him being born, Billy. No. Billy, have you ever taken sex ed? Do you know how birth works, Billy?
I'm trying to sort out how he thinks that is happening in this engraving.
I really don't know. Because first of all, clearly that's way too big to have been given birth to immediately. Yes. Second, generally speaking, when people are giving birth, they don't do so by just kind of lifting their baby off of their lap and then presenting it to someone who has a cup. That's not generally how childbirth works.
Usually not.
Generally, the baby has to pass through the vagina, which is not pictured here. And I happen to know that the Sumerians were like big
otherwise
prudes.
Known as the Regina. But yes.
Well, yeah. By the way, I found out that one of the flat earthers I have subscribed to no longer resides in Regina and has moved to Saskatoon, and that makes me sad.
Oh.
I liked it when he was from Regina, but now he's from Saskatoon. It's not as much fun.
Not as much.
No. Oh well. But he gets very angry about the fact that people tell him that the flatness of Saskatchewan is in relation to a spheroid datum, and that therefore it actually does include the curvature of the Earth in that flatness measurement. And he's like, no! Okay. But you know what? We're going to wrap up here with Billy just fundamentally not knowing how human reproduction works. Like, just at all.
Just add it to the list of things that Billy just fundamentally does not understand.
Yeah, it's
a large list.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a surprising list in
really
many
is
respect, because I think he has children. I believe.
I'm just going to assume that he wasn't there for their birth; that he was in a different room.
Maybe that's it.
He just imagines his partner, wife. I don't really know. Just kind of having the baby, and then they just magically appears in her hands, and then she lifts it up, and then someone gives her some beer, and everything's great. And I mean, he wasn't there to be able to contradict any of that.
Nope.
Lieutenant Matt, the Boost Broker, says, you go to Regina to get born again. Oh, okay. That's what that is. All right. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, everybody. You guys have been amazing. And we have a fancy avatar poll for me to put up. Ben's getting some free pizza. He has not given me a pizza order yet, Bent. I would need a pizza order in order to get that free pizza. So if Bent is maybe listening, You should send me that. But anyway, Kip, what do you have coming up on your channel that you want people to know about? You have less than a minute to talk about it.
All right. It's Saturday. No, not that. Budget Scripture Saturday is on tonight at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. I'll be live with Dr. Tapioca Weasel and Nitty, and probably drinking. So it'll be fun. That's and then I'll be doing something else this week. I did nothing this last week because I was in a fever dream. But and it was weird, being in a fever dream and not making any midweek content. But
all right, Thank you very much. That was less than a minute.
I'm still talking, and I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah, it's true, but I muted you, Kip. All right, so what's coming up on my channel? On Tuesday, we've got the next. This is Matt with Matty. So if you like listening to either of the Matts, you can come hang out for that. Then that'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Then on Thursday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Yep, we've got Lies About Adam and Eve, Hovind and Sanford Part 3. That's the end of that series. Then on Saturday, we should be back for more of this. And again, of course, on Friday, hopefully at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be something on Top Hats Off. Currently, I'm planning it for it to be an episode of Star Trek Endurance. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But fingers crossed, Chesh won't be there, so hopefully everyone else will. And Kip, I have unmuted you.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But you said that you were just going to keep talking, and I couldn't stop it, and I couldn't let that stand. So I had to assert my authority here. But thank you so much, everybody. If you are interested, we are going to be going over to my Discord server. We're going to be watching 5 episodes of Power Rangers Dino Fury. We are going to be watching them
in September, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Still on track to.
We're on track because we're going to be watching these 5 episodes on 1.25 speed. That's why we're on track.
All right.
So come hang out for that if you want. If you don't, then I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Stay safe out there. And remember, if you see people in masks kidnapping people, you should call the local PD and report a kidnapping, because ICE likes to really scram when they find out that there's a SWAT team coming.
That sounds like sound advice.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen here.
Well, you don't have ICE. Actually, you do have ICE. It's almost all you have.
Very, very good, useful ICE, actually. It's,
good kind.
For doing stuff. Yep.
Bye, everybody. Hey, before you leave, I just want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members, especially those pledging $20 or above. Ben Tovind, Tapioca Weasel, Arrow Dodger, Dan Sheedy, Elleron Teller, Phil Cavara, Ian Chen, Kelvin Brostock Van Manen, Landon Knoll, Mabbity Babbity, Sphincter of Doom, Volis, Max Sherry, North Texas Fossils, and John Ackerman. It's because of my channel members and patrons whom you're seeing on screen that this channel can stay afloat. Without you, it would all shut down. If you want to join the team, there's a link to join the channel below this video, and there's a link to join the Patreon in the description. On the Patreon, you can get a 10% discount for pledging annually, and either way, you get early access to virtually all of my scripted videos, often 3 to 5 months before they come out for the general public. Thanks for watching.